All right, folks, so this video is specifically dedicated towards the air filter and the air filter box of a Royal Enfield 650cc. And what we see that comes in stock is a air filter cover that has a one directional opening towards the rear tire. And we get a paper-based air filter, uh, which is very restricted from a performance perspective. And another drawback is this is a one-time use only. And if you're trying to get a bit more performance out of your 650, this is where a high flow air filter comes in. Now, this one specifically is from K&N. They range anything. There's other brands, SNS, DNA. They range anything from 60 to 90 bucks. Um, yeah, it's a stock fit, so simply just slides in and you can use it with the stock air filter cover. So if you're trying to eliminate the stock air filter cover, a couple brands do offer a laser cut fitment plate that directly mounts with the stock hardware over this just to hold this uh, air filter in place. Now those range anything from 40 to 50 bucks. I didn't find myself the need to get one. Um, I had some PVC pipe clamps laying around. Flattened those out, made myself a mount that works directly with the stock hardware. So it's something that would mount like this, and it will hold down the air filter. And let me bolt that on, and I'll show you how that works. It's just like one of those clamps you can buy online for 40 to 50 bucks. Yeah, let's dive a bit more into the pros and cons of the filter itself. Uh, Starting with the pros, fits directly snug into the factory location. Um, Now, K&N does claim it sucks 40 more percent of air into the cylinder, which is noticeable. Uh, which is noticeable more at the pickup level. So, it, if you're at a red light, full throttle in first to second, you will feel that 40%. And third is it's reusable. So it's a one-time investment. You could wash this filter and reuse it. Now, a bit more on the cons is if you're in a clean environment, um, then running this clamp system is totally fine. Will do you no harm, right? But if you're trying to ride in rain or any of the dirt roads, now that could introduce some moisture and a lot more dirt particles into the filter uh, to your cylinder. Uh, because it's a high flow air filter. It is not a paper-based air filter. Paper-based air filters are restricted. High flows, the job of a high flow air filter is to flow more air in the cylinder. Now, yeah, like I said, if you're in the rain, if you're in the dirt, I would recommend using this filter with the stock air filter cover. Uh, the reason is the way it is designed is it has one opening towards the rear, right? So let's say you have this fitted in, you have the side panel on, you're cruising down the road in rain. Um, the air is actually flowing behind this frame rail and routes from here and sucks through this one opening that it has, and then through the throttle body, through the cylinder. So yeah, uh, just a point to notice if you're riding in rain, this is something to really think about. Now let's talk about the stock air filter box itself. Uh, if you're trying to get rid of the box, it is quite complex as you think it might be, uh, due to a a couple of the functionalities are tied to it. First, we have this engine breather, which is pulling clean air out of this air filter box. Second is your idle controller, which is also running off of this air filter. And third is your secondary airflow system, which actually routes through the exhaust and comes back into the airbox for those gases to get reburned again. And lastly is the evap canister, which is at the very bottom, separate from the box itself, but that is tied to the gas tank itself. So if you're trying to eliminate, oh, also the air intake temperature sensor, that is right there also, this wire. So yeah, if you're trying to eliminate that entire system and go with AirPods, now it is doable. You can simply eliminate the secondary air injection system. You can simply add another air filter for this engine breather hose, which you will also have to tie it to the idle controller, right? Um, so yeah, and a lot of folks had questions on how to remove this air box itself, which I also did. And so simply, the frame is welded on top, so you uh, cannot take this out from top or from the right side, as there is a toolbox frame that is also welded on one side and is bolted on the other. So that leaves you to taking out the battery, all the wiring, and taking out the clamps and pushing this airbox out. Now, if you want to choose the more of a complex route, is by removing the tire, this plastic fender, and of course the battery comes out, and then removing the clamps and sliding that airbox out that way. Now, I personally believe having a high flow air filter with the stock setup is perfect. You know, keeps all the other functionalities working. Your crank breather, idle controller, temperature sensor, everything. Throws no code, right? Uh, and one major problem that I usually encountered is if you're getting rid of this entire system and going with the pod filter route, is if you have the bike sitting in the garage, um, you'll see a dirt and debris getting collected over those filters. So that's another thing. So it's a bit more of a maintenance issue. The system worked well for me. I've been running the system for about 6 months now. Uh, no issues, no error codes, nothing like that. Um, now, this is totally not required, but something to consider is the headers and the mufflers. Uh, as we're introducing more air in the system, that same amount of air is not exiting out, right? Um, and as we all know, the stock headers have welded cats up here, which is really restricted from a performance perspective. But yeah, that's another topic. So we'll cover that in a different video. If you have made it this far in the video, that tells me two things. Either the content is not boring, or you're someone like me, who love their machine, want to make them look good, and want to get the most out of them, right? And I'm new to this YouTube world, so if you folks want to see anything in particular, just comment down below. And next video, I will be talking about the front sprocket, and have that upgrade coming. And yeah, please like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks.